Hello everybody, we're back, and our first interview with Brittany McLeod was so wildly popular that the producers demanded we bring her back. So today we're going to bring her back in to talk about some social media. So let's bring back Brittany McLeod, everybody!
Hello!
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you too, you look well.
Oh, thank you, as do you. I love your bow tie.
Thank you. It's an emergency bow tie for just such occasions.
Well, it was perfect. You look very dapper.
Thank you. So, BMAC, you were by far our most popular interview that we've had to date. And I'm sure it has something to do with your radiant personality that you seem to so well get out through social media. So tell me, how would you define your social media?
How would I define my personal or...
Social media in general.
Social media in general. Okay. Social media in general, I think it's a little different to every person. But the way that I would describe it is that it's just a way to keep in touch with anyone. It's media that you are engaging and interacting with other people, and that's the part that makes it social. So at a very simple stage, that's that, but I know that we'll probably talk and divulge a little bit more into it, so that's the simple definition.
So tell us why you love social media, because you're very, very active.
Why I love social media? I'm obsessed with social media. What it comes down to is it's just the easiest way to keep in touch with people. So as are you, as a student, are very, very busy, and you don't have time to call every single person that you love every day to have a one-on-one conversation with them, or sometimes even every week, unfortunately, because you just have so much to do. So the reason that I love social media so much is that I can post everything that I'm doing, and my family and friends back home, everybody can see what I'm up to so that they understand that I'm busy. But on the other hand, when I actually do have the opportunity to talk to them, they can say, oh, I saw that you were doing this, and I loved your picture about that, and that's so cool that you wrote a blog about that. I read it, it sounded like you had a great experience. So it enhances your conversations. And I think that there's definitely criticism about social media that's a little bit intrusive in people's lives, but it's kind of everything in moderation, and you can take social media as it comes. If you're engaging and you're immersing yourself in the social media world, then that's your choice. So you're choosing to see everything that's been posted, and it's the best way for me to communicate with my family.
So how do you use it personally? Do you use it more to keep in touch with your family or your friends?
I think it's a little bit of both, obviously. I love my family and the stuff that I'm posting. It's for me, it's the things that, I mean, everybody has a little bit different content that they post, but different articles that I found online that I think would be helpful for other people professionally, let's say. I'll put that on Facebook, definitely Twitter. Every night before I go to bed, I read the news and articles that I think other people could benefit from, I'll post on Twitter, and then they'll say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, I read the thing that you posted on Twitter last night, that was actually really helpful, I'm gonna go do this stuff. I just think it's so rewarding when you post something on social media and someone thanks you for it, because you're just broadcast. Obviously there's the engaging and people are trying to interact with you, but for the most, when I post things on social media, I try to have the mindset that no one's going to see it, because you don't want to be disappointed if no one does see it. But it's so cool how many people actually do see it and where your message goes and who you're targeted to. So on Twitter, it's the different things that you can hashtag that'll grab people's attention, and that's actually what draws me to social media so much, and I think that's kind of the advertising part of me, is that on Twitter, you have 140 characters to convince someone that they should read whatever you post and to grab their attention. So what's that going to be? Is that going to be a hashtag? Is that going to be a link? Usually, only 140 characters, so the links are short, so you can't even see what it is that they're saying. So in that title, you have to convince them that they should read whatever it is. And I think that part is just so interesting, and kind of, this is a little bit more advertising based, but that's what I love about advertising, is especially with print advertising, you're flipping through a magazine, you're in a doctor's office, just kind of wasting time. What is going to make you stay and look at that page longer than just flipping right past it? So how are you going to grab their attention? And that's what I love about social media. How are you going to grab their attention and engage your audience?
So you have a lot of experience grabbing people's attention on your personal Twitter. I know that there's a lot of avid BMAC followers on campus. Do you have any experience using Twitter outside of personal use?
Yes, I do. I actually worked for our college, Marist, for 3 years in the undergraduate admissions office. And my job, I ran a blog. It's called Marist Foxtails, and my position was to have students, myself included, create content to post about Marist for prospective students, alumni. It was a blog for people to see all the awesome stuff that we do day to day on campus. So I managed that blog, and then what I had to do was create draft tweets and Facebook posts for the Marist Twitter and Facebook page so that people would see it. So I did that. I would send it off to my boss. He would post it, and that was kind of what I did at Marist. But over the summer, I had 2 social media internships at interactive communication agencies and an advertising agency, and my job was just to help them. One agency, they were just getting into social media. Another agency had social media, but they didn't really know exactly how to use it the best that they could, effectively and efficiently. So at the one agency, I was kind of teaching them the best practices, if you will, of how to use social media and what you're capable of doing with it. And then the other agency, I was actually writing blogs and creating content for their clients, which was an interesting challenge. You know, when you have your own personal social media, that's your own personal content. So you can post whatever you want because you know what you want to say and you have an idea of what your brand that you want to portray yourself. But when you're working for a company and you have a client that you have to be them and be their message, that was the first time I was really challenged with social media, and it was definitely a good experience because I appreciate it so much more for what companies have to go through to have their brand personality perceived online and make people want to engage with them and be a part of their social media and follow them. So that's what I did over the summer.
And I know there are a lot of places out there that are looking for people like you who can help companies with that. So my last question. You said that social media is good in moderation. Has there ever been a time when you posted something on social media that you later went back and thought, oh, that was a little too personal?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes it could even just be as simple as a song or something that I'm feeling. I'm thinking more towards Twitter right now, things that I posted that I deleted, and this is so huge with social media that I just thought of this, privacy. Nothing is private anymore. Practically the second you think something, it's no longer a secret. And that's the biggest thing, social media, nothing can be deleted, especially with big data. It's out there and it's in the universe forever. So I've always tried really hard. I've known that for a while. Recently it's come more so in the news and discussions in my classes, but you should never ever post something that isn't you or doesn't accurately describe who you are as a person. So people are saying, even just, we're talking about in my classes, social media, how it's negative for people who are getting jobs, and no, social media is such a positive way for you to get attention from jobs and for people to future employers. If you use social media to your advantage, you create yourself as a brand and a message, and they should want you to be there. Obviously, people do abuse social media and they post things that are too personal, but that's their choice. And if they post something too personal, then that's their fault. And unfortunately, things can never be deleted. There have been things that have happened in the news, unfortunately, very sad situations that have been a result of social media, and then they deleted the tweet. Well, all you have to do is Google it, and you can find it so quickly, because even when you delete it, it's not permanent, and it doesn't even delete that fast sometimes. It's so much easier to post something than it is to delete it, and I think that's with anything in life. But I've never really posted anything that was inappropriate. Sometimes I'll post something where I think, was that necessary? And it's more like I just post too much of the same thing, or I post too many statuses on Facebook, too many songs, and I think people are just going to look at my Facebook page and be like, okay, so she's got a lot of songs stuck in her head, so I'll pick my favorite one and I'll kind of delete a couple other ones. But yeah, you have to be really careful. You have to be really careful and know what you want people to know about you with social media. So.
Well, I'm excited to post this interview and see what comes back. Brittany McLeod?
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Good luck.
BMAC.